Hello.
Hello everyone, my name is Kenyan and I will be your announcer for today. So welcome to the whiting and traditions demonstration sessions. Today the two groups are featuring our Malaysia group and Kenya group. So each performance will take about 15 minutes and you will have several minutes to ask questions. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it or whether you don't want that whiting anymore. That's not the purpose of our performance. So the first group, welcome to the stage, is Kenya.
Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Kibuchi. I'm from Kenya, but I'm currently a graduate student in the Department of African Cultural Studies, and I'm also a teaching assistant for Swahili. So if you want to learn Swahili, it's one of the best languages in the world. You come to African Cultural Studies.
And my name is David Abisuche, and I'm also a master's student at Interview, African Cultural Studies, and I'm from Kenya.
So we are going to talk about how the procedure that precedes the wedding ceremonies for the Kikuyu community in Kenya. Now this is one of the largest communities in the country, and there are several steps that precede the actual wedding ceremony that we're going to talk about, and they take a long period of time. They can take even like 1 year. So those are the steps we're going to be discussing.
So I just use my voice. So the marriage ceremony or the wedding ceremony
Can't hear you. Use the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So it takes a long process, and there's a lot of steps that go on, and it's something that can stretch through many months, maybe even a whole year. And the people in the negotiations, they talk in form of parables. So they use parables to express the things they're talking about. And so here as mentioned something about the flower, when you're talking about the bride in this case. So those are some of the terms they use when they're talking about the different people. And the first thing when two young people meet and they like each other, the first step is to go and visit the family of the bride. And so the bridegroom with his friends and close relatives will go to the bride's home and introduce themselves and say their purpose. So one of the stories they'll say, well, we noticed a beautiful flower somewhere and we came out to find out where it comes from. And the next thing, the parents will be concerned, which flower? I mean, we have several flowers in the family, so which one are you talking about? So if the family likes the bridegroom's family or him, then they can start negotiating about the bride, dowry, and so on.
Yeah, so on this first step, the groom is not supposed to stay. He always has one of his friends, perhaps someone he's good with, who is supposed to talk on his behalf. It's not our tradition to have the groom or the bride talking in any case during these negotiations.
Yeah, so they start, once they have agreed, they start, they agree on the day that they are going to meet. And they set up for the second step. And the second step, they arrive there, the bridegroom's party, they arrive, and they're taken into a tent where they sit, they eat, and once they have eaten, now the girls are brought in and they asked to identify what they're talking about. And the girls will come in fully covered, like from top to toe. And they always come in groups of bunches of 5, about 15 girls, but they come in groups of 5. And the man is supposed to identify which girl that is. One thing, they are not supposed to get the girl. So just by looking at them, they should be able to identify who they are. And at this point, all the women look the same. And they're all covered in similar garments. And so she's trying for him to touch someone else's wife. And should he uncover the wrong man, then he has to pay a penalty for that. And that one continues until he's able to uncover the woman in this case. I mean, the penalty can be in the form of like buying beer for everyone in that case. or maybe buying gifts for the poor around for the ceremony.
So what happens when the groom is trying to identify the right person, because they all look alike, and there's so many, there are like 15 of them, sometimes cheating takes place. So what you do as a bride, because you don't want your groom to be, to pay a lot of money for no good reason, you cheat. So you can tell him, oh, I'm going to cough twice. So for example, she can just like cough twice, or the person you see who has the fabric tied, sometimes you can tie it just to cheat, and then you text him and say, oh, my garment should be tied, so just look for a tie, and that would be me. So that is what happens. Most of the times people cheat to avoid the penalty. And now once this happens, I'll clap for her please. So once that takes place, the groom and the bride dress now traditionally, and they're given a place to sit. And the next step in this event is called the cutting of the shoulder. On this stage is a goat that has been prepared that people are supposed to feast on. And the shoulder of the goat is supposed to be cut by the bride and give the piece to the groom. Now, once the groom eats this piece of goat from the shoulder, it's symbolic that he will accept all children that the bride will bring forth in marriage, regardless of whether these children are his or from other men. So, the groom accepts this and eats reluctantly, because of course they don't want the bride to do that. But that is what happens. The groom has to vow to accepting all children from this woman.
And these are covenants they take even before the marriage. And likewise, the bride does the same. So the groom also cuts shoulder and fix the bride. So they both take this, if their wife gives birth any child, they're going to add the groom's going to. And after this step, they go to the next step, it's called the eating of the ear. And they cut a portion of the ear of the goat, and they take turns feeding each other. And the first thing, the bride cuts a piece of the ear and feeds the bridegroom. And this one actually symbolizes that she will have ears only for him, like so she always feeds snakes for him. And likewise the bridegroom does the same. So feed each other the ears symbolizing always have each other in the marriage. And at this point everyone else in the party has to do the same. So all the married couple come together and just to renew their vows of covenant. They do the same feeding of the ear to each other. And it's in solidarity with the couple that is going to get married, and also to remind everyone of the covenant they took when they first met.
Yeah, so this is a good example, because if you don't have ears for your parents, they're going to buy you ears from the goat and feed you, right? Okay, so after this step, they plan for the next event. But before then, the parties from both sides, representatives from both sides, meet together to negotiate the dowry. So perhaps they could go inside the house when everybody else is feasting outside, and they can now plan how much are you going to give for the dowry for this woman. And dowry traditionally was in form of goats and cows, but in the modern world they've changed that into cash. And the other things that are involved, apart from goats and cows, they still talk in terms of goats and cows. They say, okay, we need like 10 goats, but now means you don't like goats so much. So one goat is like $100. Okay, now Kenyan shillings. And we might need this amount of money only for the goats, and this amount of money for the cows, and then we need to buy a mattress for the bride's parents, a new mattress, we need to buy this and this for them. So, and the whole dowry is calculated in cash, and the groom is told the next time you're coming here, you should pay at least this amount of money.
Yeah, and the time he comes, back. He knows very well that he should not bring the exact money that he was promised. Because when they arrived, they'll be told about other expenses that were incurred in his absence. And the first thing they'll be told that you left here your flower, someone had to take care of it. So the other first that he has to take care of it, or maybe your flower got sick, or he had to buy some pesticides. So that's the first thing that he has to compensate for all the expenses that were incurred when he was away. And dowry payments start at this point, but traditionally they're not meant to be finalized. Like you can't just pay a lump sum. So this is something that has to be extended throughout the marriage. So as long as you're both alive and keep on paying it, even if you finish, you still have to like keep on sending support to the girl's family. Maybe in terms of during weddings you have to be there. So this kind of like a bonding between the two families that has to maybe continue throughout their lifetime.
Yeah, so the next event that is, it could even take like 3 months or 4 months, depending on the financial ability of the groom. But the good thing is that the groom is not to pay all this amount by himself. It's a responsibility of the whole of village, relatives to help him into this payment. So the next step, they'll come and pay the amount, the least amount they're supposed to pay, and all the expenses incurred on that day. And then now state their intention to do a formal wedding. This could be a religious wedding, a modern wedding, whatever traditional wedding. That is now the final step, and the procedure is over. But still, the dowry payment continues in marriage. So thank you so much for listening to us.
Well, please remain on the stage for questions.
Are your customs tribe specific? Yeah, when this
How do you like their demonstration? Yeah.
Can we let it go?
Open Q&A. So you want to stand up? Because they're having a question and answer. Yeah, just
Well, I'm not a professor in college, but I will make some long thoughts.
so that everyone can answer. Or I can also ask you.
Okay. The first question,
Sure.
my first question is, do young people still follow your tradition in your country, Kenya, right now, or are they changed to more westernized weddings?
So this is for, thank you. That's a very good question. This is for traditional wedding, and even though we have many people have been westernized and modernized, these traditions are still very greatly upheld. So as young people, we might be so much against it, but there's this powerful presence of the cultural power that elders have to do these things. In fact, most of the young people are not involved in this, but their uncles and their relatives, there's this pressure from the relatives and from the elder generation. It's kind of going away, but it's still being practiced.
What kind of the wedding do you like?
That's a very personal question. But I would like to see someone paying for me. But traditionally, this was just meant to appreciate the work the bride's parents have done to raise this flower that he talks about. Is that question?
What if you marry outside of your home? What happens? Which tradition you follow?
So the question is, how do you feel you marry someone outside of your community? What kind of traditions do you follow?
So yeah, that happens a lot. We see Kikuyu marrying people from the Luo or Luya community, and the traditions are a little bit different, but they're these basic ones. So they come together and negotiate. That's why we have the dowry negotiations. How do you do it in your culture? We do it this way, so how are we going to bring it together? How are we going to move forward? So that always happens.
And sometimes they do both. When they can go to the girl's home, when they go to the girl's family, they have to do it according to their culture. And when they come back to the groom's side, they still do according to that culture. So sometimes they have to do both traditional marriages.